Hi, and welcome back to Life Hope Talks. I'm Selena. In continuing the series on seeking closure from someone who is alive and well and won't give you closure, I thought it would be a good idea to do a video on helpful tips when you're seeking a mental health counselor or therapist. Some mental health counselors refer to themselves as counselors, and some refer to themselves as therapists. But for the sake of this video, you probably will hear me say mental health therapist or just therapist. Something that I like to bring to others' attention whenever I have a conversation about, well, where do you begin when you're looking for a mental health counselor? A good place to begin would be with your insurance company. You can always give them a call and ask them for a list of therapists that are in your area. Some insurance companies will even ask you, is there a particular topic? Do you want a specific therapist for a specific topic? For example, if you were having issues with a divorce, or if you were having issues or challenges within your family, you can say, oh, well, I want a therapist who deals with family issues, or I want a therapist who is well versed in dealing with clients who are going through a divorce. So sometimes insurance companies will ask you that, and that can be helpful as well. If it's a situation where you are paying out of pocket, you can just go online and look for therapists that are in your area, whether you want a female therapist or a male therapist. They are certainly out there. So you can go online and do a search that way. Something that I would like for you to keep in mind, if for those of you who are looking for a therapist, is to be very aware of the credentials. Just because someone have credentials that follow their name does not mean that their state counseling board has given them the approval to offer psychotherapy. So it's important that whomever you get as your therapist, that you look at that business card or you look them up online to make sure they are licensed to practice psychotherapy. Because remember, we're talking about your mind, we're talking about your emotions. You need someone who is qualified, who have been trained, who's educated to do it and trained to do it. When you're talking about going through your mind and helping you work out those emotional issues. So it's very important for you to not just take someone at what they're saying. There are many people out there that are into coaches, and there are places for coaching. And there are many people out there who are offering various types of services. However, if they're saying that they're a counselor, you want to check and see what kind of counselor are they, because attorneys are called counselors in the courtroom and outside of the courtroom. But you're not looking for an attorney to help you through psychological challenges and emotional challenges. So again, be very aware of who you're making an appointment with. Do your research. Even if someone you know has gone to see a particular person, do the research yourself. Make sure that person has the credentials, the authorization from their state counseling board to practice psychotherapy. Something else that is very important that I like to communicate with others is that it is important that you like your therapist. If you don't like your therapist, then that session is not beneficial to you. If you're sitting in counseling and your therapist is reminding you of that aunt that you don't like, or that therapist is reminding you of your ex, it's very hard for you to get what you need in the therapy session. Because instead of you really being there to open yourself up and work towards your counseling goals, you'll be going back and forth in your mind thinking about who the counselor reminds you of. So it's very important for you to like your therapist. And if it's just not clicking, you've given it a couple of sessions or so and it's just not clicking, you just don't like him, then don't waste more time. I always like to say, don't waste more time, because your mental health is very important. Don't waste more time. Find someone else if you don't like your therapist, because the therapeutic relationship is a collaboration. It's a partnership. So if you and your therapist kind of not like vibing, the energy not there, you're not looking forward to counseling sessions, you're the expert of you. You know that you will not continue. You will not see your sessions through, because you don't like your therapist. You're not clicking, you're not vibing. So that's very important to pay attention to that. Also, if you're attracted to your therapist, then there's a good chance you need to find someone else. If you're not the kind of person that will say, hey, listen, counselor, therapist, I'm attracted to you. Because sometimes that can be worked out in the session. Definitely the therapist can put some boundaries there and keep you focused. At other times, it's best to refer you to someone else, because again, your mental health is so important. So if you find yourself excited to go to therapy because you're attracted to your therapist, you like the way she looks, or you like the way he looks, then the counseling session will not benefit you the way that it should. And it's something that definitely needs to be discussed. It doesn't mean that you have to go to a different therapist in another city or another county. You just might need another therapist within the same practice, because very often counseling practices have various therapists there, and maybe it would be best to just match you with someone else that you would be least attracted to, and where that the counseling sessions can really function and move the way that it needs to move. So it's very important, again, that you take a look at those credentials. Also, if you don't like your therapist, if your therapist is reminding you of someone, or if you're attracted to your therapist, those are situations that really are unbeneficial to you. And it's something that you should not be afraid to talk about, because again, therapists are not there to judge you. They're there to help you through some of your darkest moments. So you can speak that. You can say what it is that you're feeling or what's on your mind with your therapist, and allow there to be space for that specific conversation. Also, when you go to therapy, it's good to be open. I understand that this is someone that you're not used to. You don't know him. He doesn't know you. It's not about winning them to your side, and it's not about trying to win their support. Therapists are there objectively and confidentially to help you through whatever it is that you're going through. And the more that you are courageous, show that strength to talk about and bring into the counseling session, that's the more support that you can have, so that you can move forward with your life and be able to work through the things that you need to work through. So going to therapy is not about you and your therapist becoming friends, because truly that's a paid service. So your therapist is not supposed to be your friend. Your therapist is that mental health professional to help you, to support you, to help guide you through some of the worst times of your life. They're not there to be your best friend. They're not there to just be on your side about things. Rather, they're there to render an objective perspective of things, help you set up goals, things that you would like to do and see for your own life, rather than be a moment, be a 45-minute or hour session of just sitting and shooting the breeze. Therapy is work. So remember that. Going to your counseling session once or twice will not make a new you. It's more realistic to stick with your therapy plan. Many therapists have a 90-day treatment plan, and then they go back and they revisit it. But it takes work. And going to therapy that once or twice or 3 times, it takes more than that, because there's a lot in you. There's a lot that has happened. There's a lot to sort through and try to figure out. So give therapy a chance. Usually your first session is it's your clinical session. It's where they're doing the screening, you're filling out paperwork, you're answering questions, it's your intake. They want to know your history and what has happened with you, because all of that plays a role in them delivering effective services to you. And then from that first or second appointment, because sometimes the intake takes a little bit longer and it can't get done the first session, it has to move to the second session or be part of the second session. And then from there, the two of you will begin to work towards some goals, the things that you would like to work on and change and see in your life. But please remember, when you're going to counseling, it's not just going to talk to someone. It's going to a place, a safe space for you to work on the things that's bothering you, so that you're not having these stumbling blocks or these barriers in your life, or that you're developing negative coping mechanisms that prevent you from moving forward in your life. So counseling is certainly something that you should be looking at in a very serious manner, and give it time. Give it time, please. It will take more than 2 or 3 sessions or a month or 2 months. We're talking about you. And we as people, we are complicated. And there's no way to uncomplicate us in 2 or 3 sessions. Even if you feel better, or even if you feel like it's working and it's helping right away, that's great. But stick with it and know that this is your life, and you have to do the work for it to be, for your life to be what you will have it to be. I hope you found this video very helpful. I'm interested to hear what your thoughts are. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share so that you are notified every time I upload a new video. Thank you for watching, and until next time, please take care of yourself.